All right. Lovely. So nice to see everyone here. So we'll get started with our Pilates. Get you onto lying flat on the mat. We're going to go arms, palms facing the ceiling. So flat on the back, heels down, shoulder width apart, palms facing up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to drop the knees down to the right and then down to the left. So just work that left-right movement with the knees. Try to get the knees to slowly touch the ground on each side, but loosening up through the lower back and the hips. And as you begin to loosen up a little bit more, see if you can drop down that little bit deeper, really lifting the hip up towards the ceiling. Lovely. This time I'll get you to pull the feet in together. So feet touching, knees touching, and then same thing. We're going to drop down left and right, dropping knees. Really roll the hip up each way, stretching out through the lower back and the chest. Lovely. And we'll get you to lift the knees up to 90 degrees this time. So heels up off the ground, knees and feet together. We're going to drop both knees down to one side, keeping both shoulders relaxed down to the ground. And then same onto the other side. Use those core muscles to pull the knees back up. We're going to drop down, stretching out through the chest. Relax there. And let's work that one. So continue with the knee drops, shoulders down to the ground. And same on the other side. Lovely. Coming up off there, can bring the legs down. We're going to go up onto our 4-point kneel position. So rolling up into our kneeling. We've got knees set directly under the hips, wrists set directly under the shoulders, into our cat-cow. So tucking the chin, lifting the upper back towards the ceiling. Exhale as you drop the belly, and then arching the back, lift the chin up. So work this one in your own time. We're going to work that cat-cow, loosen up through the upper back, loosen up through the spine, and then just focus on your breathing. So inhale as you crunch up, exhale as you drop and scoop down through the belly. 2 more. Last one. Lovely. Let's spread those knees apart. Sink the hips down towards the heels. Walk the hands out as far as you can, dropping the forehead down to the ground. So really push back. Use the hands to push the hips down towards the heels. Feel that lovely stretch through the shoulder, through the lower back, through the hips. Great, we're going to walk the hands out towards the right side this time. So both the hands walking out to the right. Feel the stretch through the outside or the left side of the body. And the same thing to the other side, walking the hands out towards the left side, feeling the stretch to the right side of the body. Lovely, walking those hands back in towards the middle, coming up into our 4-point kneel position. We'll go on to our dog bird exercise. So we're going to start by lifting the right arm, kicking out the left leg. So pointing toes long, fingertips out. Imagine there's a string pulling both finger and toe out. Now just make sure the hip is set. So we want hips parallel to the floor. So try not to lift or lower or wobble through the torso. Crunch and hold core strong, so we've got that nice neutral spine. Lovely. From here, we're going to work our little pulses up and down. So squeeze from the buttocks, work the back extensor muscles. As you work that lift lower, notice as you're pulsing, everything stays stable. Core's on strong, hips stay parallel to the ground, back stays in that neutral, strong position, and shoulders are stabilized there. It's just the leg and the arm that pulses up and down. Keep that going. 3 more. 2, hold this one up. All right, let's draw elbow, knee in together. Exhale, squeeze through the buttocks, extend out through the arms. So working that inhale in, extend out. Feel the buttocks working, those glute muscles, squeezing as you extend all the way through. Lovely, let's go 2 more. Last one. Hold this next one up. Let's work those pulses again. Pulsing up and down, squeeze from the buttocks, lifting up and down. Lovely, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, elbow, knee in. Exhale, squeeze through the buttocks, extend outwards. Lovely. 3 more. 2. And final 1. Great. Switch over to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. So lifting up, opposite arm, opposite leg, left arm out, right leg out. Let's get this position set. Hips are parallel to the ground. So just ensure you've got those hips level, parallel there. Squeezing out through the buttocks. Fingertips out. Imagine there's a string pulling from fingertip and toe. Lovely. Let's work those pulses up and down from there. So pulse and squeeze. Feel the buttocks firing as you work those little pulses up and down. Back extensors turned on. Notice with this movement, hips are parallel, stable, core is on strong, shoulders are stable. All right, let's go. Inhale, elbow in, knee in. Exhale, extend, squeeze through the buttocks, extend all the way out. Take your time. Notice how we've got that controlled movement in both directions. About 2 to 3 seconds to come in, 2 to 3 seconds to kick out. Lovely, 2 more. Final 1. Hold this next one out. Let's work those pulses again. Pulse and squeeze. Feel the burn through the buttocks. Core muscles stay switched on. Shoulders stabilize. 3 more. 2, 1. Hold this one up. Let's go. Inhale, elbow, knee in. Exhale, extend, squeeze. Kick all the way out. Lovely work. 3 more to go. 2. Last one and final 1. Great work. Lower down there. Let's go into our plank position next. So pull those toes back, lifting up. Again, we've got those wrists directly under the shoulders, core muscles switched on. Think about drawing your shoulder blades down and back. If this is too challenging, you can hold it on your knees. That's your other option. Otherwise, up on the toes to make it more difficult. Lovely. Let's pull the tailbone up to the sky for our downward dog. Spread the fingers apart, push down and away with the feet, and we'll just walk the heels up and down, left and right, getting that lovely stretch through the calf muscles. Lovely. And let's draw back for our plank position. So shoulders over wrists, shoulder blades down and in, core muscles switched on. Again, if you need to drop down to your toes, that's not a problem. Otherwise, hold that position there. Lovely. And again, tailbone up towards the sky. Push away with the hands, push away with the feet, and just walk those heels up and down again. We're stretching out through calf muscles. Lovely. Last plank, draw those shoulders over the wrist, shoulder blades down and in, core muscles stay switched on. We want to ensure that we've got the engagement through the core so we're not sagging down or hiking the hips up. Again, tailbone up towards the ceiling. Let's walk those heels up and down. Lovely. Let's lift our right leg up towards the ceiling. Single leg downward dog. Push away from the hands. Squeeze the buttocks. Point that toe up nice and long. Lovely. Inhale. Draw the knee in towards the chest. We're going to step the leg right in between the hands. Drop the back knee down to the ground. We're going to rock forwards and backwards for our hip flexor stretch, our hamstring stretch. Loosening up through the hips here. 2 more. Last one. Lovely. And coming up, draw that chest up. Just ensure you've got 90 degrees with that front leg. Right hand, fingertips down to the ground. Rotate the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Use the elbow to push against the knee. You'll feel the stretch through the inside of the thigh, as well as a rotation through the spine. Lovely. Drop those hands down either side. We're pulling back into our plank position. So pull that leg back up onto our plank position. Shoulder blades down and back. Core muscles switched on. And let's lift the tailbone up towards the ceiling again. Walk those heels up and down, left and right. Feel nice and loose through the calf now. And let's lift the left the left leg up towards the ceiling, squeezing through the buttocks, pushing away from the hands. Lovely. Inhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Step the leg in between the hands there. Drop that back knee down to the ground. And we're going to rock again, forwards and backwards for our hip flexor stretch, our hamstring stretch, really loosening up through the hips. Lovely. 2 more. Last one. Great. Just draw that chest up 90 degree with that front leg. Left hand, fingertips down towards the mat. Open and rotate those right fingertips up to the ceiling. Use the left elbow to push against the knee. You'll get an extra stretch through the groin, as well as that rotational back stretch. Lovely. And release off there. Hands back down on either side of the leg. Just pull back into that 4-point kneel position. We're going to work the glutes again. This time we'll go into our bent knee abductions. Starting with our left leg, we're going to keep that knee in a bent position, but we're going to lift that knee out to the side. Control as you come back in. So when we're working these abductions, we want you to focus on keeping the core muscles switched on. The hips stay in the same position, so they're parallel to the ground. If we're to put, a glass of water on the lower back, it shouldn't tip left or right. So it might mean that you just have to, lift that leg up a little bit lower. We don't want to compromise our correct posture and position. So if you do need to make these movements a little bit smaller, that's not an issue. 3 more. 2. Let's hold this next one up the top. Up and hold. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Lovely. Same leg. That left leg is going to point up. Squeeze through the buttocks, core on strong. We're going to drop the toe down to the ground and then rotate the toes so they're facing out towards the left side. Great. From here, we're going to draw that leg out towards the left side. Control, draw the heel back in. So let's work that. 3 seconds to go out, 3 seconds to go in. Keeping that heel elevated. We don't want to drop that leg down, especially as we get tired through the buttocks. We're keeping that full extension as we move left and right. Lovely. Let's go. 2 more. Final one. Last one. And just bring that leg back in. Spread those knees apart. Sink the hips down into the heels. Walk the hands out for that child's pose. And we'll repeat the same thing on the opposite side. And a few deep breaths as you loosen up through the arms, through the shoulders, the lower back, and the hips. All right, let's come back up into our 4-point kneel position. We're going to go opposite leg this time, so right leg. Knee stays bent at 90 degrees. We're going to open that right knee out and then drop back in. Notice we've got those smooth, controlled movements. The slower we do this, the more challenging it is, the more we need to stabilize through those muscles. We're not just using momentum and gravity to swing that leg up and down. We're using the control through our hips, through our glutes to get that movement. Lovely. Let's go 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold this next one up and hold, keeping the hips parallel to the ground. Turn on those muscles, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Control, lower that leg down. Let's extend the right leg out, squeeze the buttocks to engage the glutes. Drop the toes down to the ground and then turn and rotate the toes so they're facing out towards the right side. All right, same thing. Heel stays up. We're squeezing through the buttocks and control as we sweep out towards the right side and we sweep back towards our starting position. So if we had a glass of water on our hips here, should stay up without spilling side to side. We're keeping that stability through the core, through the hips. Lovely. 2 more. Last one. And have a breath there. Lower that one down. Spread those knees out. Sink down into the heels. Walk the hands out just to stretch out through the lower back. Lovely. And coming back up off there. The last lot of our glute exercises from this position, we're going to drop the elbows down to the ground this time. With our left leg, extend that left leg out. Point that toe long. Again, we've got the hips parallel to the ground. We get a little bit more range with this one. Draw the knee in towards the chest. Extend, squeeze through the buttocks and get that full extension. Now, when we're working through this movement, focus on your core. We want to keep that core engaged so that we're in that neutral position. So tuck that pelvis in slightly and hold the hip position stable, the shoulders stable as you're squeezing through those glutes. Lovely. 2 more. Last one. Hold this one up the top, up and hold. Drop the toe down towards the ground. We're going to do a straight leg, lower, nice and slow. Tap, extend nice and slow as you squeeze through the buttocks and get the full extension. Lovely. Work that up and down. Smooth, controlled movement. Squeeze the buttocks as you drive up. The whole upper torso, upper body, strong and stable. Nothing moves except for this back leg. 2 more. Lovely. Last one. And great. Let's switch over to the other side. So right leg, we're going to extend, point out, squeeze through the buttocks, shoulder blades down and back, core muscles switched on, hips parallel to the ground. Let's draw that knee in. Exhale, squeeze through the buttocks, get that full extension. Good. So making sure that we're controlling these movements. About 3 seconds to squeeze and kick out. 3 seconds to come back down. 5 more. 4, 3, 2 more. Final one. We're going to hold this next one up the top, squeezing through the glutes. Full extension. Drop the toes down to the ground. Again, control as you lower that toe down. And control as you kick that heel up to get that full extension. Lovely, keeping the hips parallel to the ground. The core muscles switched on. Shoulders stabilized. 3 more to go. 2. Last one. 1. and have a rest there. Great work. We'll get you to roll onto your back next. So flipping around, lying down towards the ground. We're going to work our upper abs, shoulder width apart with the heels. Let's draw both hands back behind the head, elbows wide. Lifting the shoulder blades up of the ground, we're going to draw ribs in towards hips. Control as you lower back towards the mat. So work those crunches. We're focusing on engaging the upper abs here. Really peel the shoulder blades up off the ground. Get that rib to hip connection. Lovely. Let's go 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one, and control, lower down. Working our obliques this time, we're going to crunch up and then rotate right elbow towards left knee. Control as you come back down towards the ground. Same on the other side. So rotate left elbow to right knee. Control as you come back down. The slower you do these movements, the more challenging it is from the core. This is working our oblique muscles, the muscles through the side of our abs. Great. This time when you do it, I want you to try to think rather than elbow to knee, think shoulder to knee. It's that shoulder to knee connection which really gets that twist in the torso. It's not just the arms that move towards the knee. We're twisting that whole torso, rotating up to crunch, control to come down. Let's go 2 more. And last one. Lovely. Have a breather there. Good. We're going to get our lower abs engaged this time. So let's draw the knees up to 90 degrees. Shoulder width apart with the legs, so they shouldn't be touching. From here, I want you to push the small of the back down towards the ground. So belly button pushes down to the mat. With that connection, you'll feel the lower abs engaging, even though we're not doing any exercise yet. That should be switched on just by pushing the small of the back down towards the ground. Lovely. You can keep the hands behind the head. We're going to extend one leg out at a time. So kicking out right, kicking out left. Only kick out as far as you feel that you can keep that connection with the lower back to the mat. So if you find that you begin to arch through the lower back, then maybe kick up a little bit higher. So if you want to make this one more challenging, what you can do is you can kick down lower towards the ground. So you pick your level, whether you've got those low kickouts or those high kickouts, but you should feel the lower abs engage as you extend out and in. Now, if your abs are engaged, you shouldn't feel any strain in your lower back. If you do feel strain in your lower back, it just means that you're not pushing the small of the back down to the ground. And I'll just make it a little bit easier by kicking up a bit higher so that you can keep that engagement. 2 more. Last one. Lovely. Have a rest there. Drop the knees down or feet down towards the ground. And we'll just work that left, right rotation. Loosen up through the hips, abs, and lower back. And we'll go again for our second set. Last time, sorry. So bring those knees up, elbows wide, crunching ribs towards the hips, shoulder blades peel up off the ground. Control as you lower down. So let's work the upper abs here. So we're working all of our abs. We've got upper abs, obliques, which is side of the abs, and lower abs through this whole ab set. 5 more. 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. And lowering down. Lovely. We've got that that diagonal crunch alternating side. So twisting right elbow to left knee. Control as you lower. Repeat on the other side. Good. This time I want you to focus on twisting the shoulder, like you're touching the shoulder to the knee. And that'll get you to really twist and rotate through the torso. Lovely. Keep that going. We've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Great work. Release off there. Let's lift those knees up to 90 degrees. Again, pushing the small of the back to the ground. It might not touch, but as long as you're actively pushing it down, then you've got your lower abs working. All right, let's alternate. Left and right, kick out. Again, slow and controlled. Keep pushing the small of the back to the ground. And this is the time where, you know, the abs are getting tired, they're getting fatigued, but you've got to be able to push through. This is when it gets really challenging. 5 more each side. 4, 3, keep pushing the small of the back down to the ground. 2, and final one. 1, and lower down towards the ground. Great work. Just drop those knees, left and right. Lovely. And then just pull both the knees in towards the chest. You'll get a stretch here through the lower back with a gentle left-right roll. Lovely. And release up off there. I'm going to get you to roll onto your side this time. We're going to work the side of our waist. So onto the right side of the body, we're going to lengthen the right arm up so that you can rest the head down by the side. Left arm by the side, long, straight with the legs. We're going to slide fingertips down to toes, lifting the head up off the ground. Control as you come back down. So we're working the side of the waist here as you work that. Control up, control down. Takes a little bit of balance to work this up-down movement. Good. Let's go 3 more. 2. Last one. Hold this next one up. Up and hold. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down there. Great work. We're going to bend the knees to 90 degrees. Just use your hand to gently pull this hip away. So we've got one hip stacked directly over the other. There should be a natural gap between the side of the waist and the ground. From here, keeping that hip pushed away, lift both those heels off the ground, toes apart. Make sure hip is stacked over. So you might need to swing the hip back a little bit. So, you know, if we had a glass of water here, it wouldn't tip forwards or backwards. Push the heels in together. We're going to open that top knee. Control as you come down. So it's just that top knee that moves. Feel the side of the hips here working. If you don't feel or quite feel the muscles there working, I want you to squeeze the heels in a little bit harder. So we're keeping that nice even squeeze through the heel as we lift and lower that top leg. Lovely. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. 1, lovely work. Lower the legs down. We're going to straighten that top leg. Pull the toes into the head, drop the toes down to the ground. Again, one hip stacked over the other. You might need to just adjust your position to pull yourself backwards a bit. Again, got water there. It's not tipping forwards or backwards. Let's drop that toe to the ground. Lift the heel up towards the ceiling. Control as you lower down. Feel the side of the hips, the glutes working. As you work that lift, lower. Again, controlling the speed. We're not just dropping the leg down. We're not using gravity or momentum to throw that leg. Good. 3 more. 2. Last one. Hold this next one up the top. Up and hold. Pulse. Keep that going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a rest there. Bend the knees in. Last set through. Use the hand to push the hip away and then just pull the hip back so one is over the other. Lifting the heels up off the ground, toes apart. Let's work those open closes, our clamshells. We're still pushing those heels in together to engage the side of the hips. Good. Keep that going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. 1. Lower both legs down to the ground. Top leg comes out straight. Pull the toes into the head. Drop the toes down towards the ground. Let's work that abduction up and down, kicking the heel up towards the ceiling, toe down towards the ground. Feel the side of the thigh, the glutes really burning here. Lovely. Keep that going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Hold this one up the top, really burning through the side of the leg now. Let's work those pulses. Keep going. Lovely. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a rest there. Great work. We're going to roll over to the other side and do the same thing. So left arm out nice and long. Nice and long with the legs there. And by the side. We're working the side of the waist here. So we're going to slide fingertips down to toes. Control as you come up. Control as you lower down. So lifting the legs, lifting the head and shoulder. And we're really crunching up through the side of the waist there. Lovely work. Keep that going. We've got 5 more to go. 4, 3, 2. Hold this next one up the top. Up and hold. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Great work. Bend the knees in together. You can pop the top arm on the hip. Use the hand just to gently push the hip away, pulling back. Lovely. Lifting the heels up off the ground, toes split apart. Squeeze the heels in. As you lift that top knee, you control as you come down. If we had a glass of water on the side of the hip, it's not going to tip forwards or backwards. It stays nice and strong and stable in that position. Feel the side of the hip begin to work. Otherwise, if you don't, push and squeeze the heels in a little bit closer, a little bit harder. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. 1. Lower the legs down. Extend that top leg. Pull the toes into the head. Drop the toe down to the ground again. Just make sure the hip is positioned one over the other. Dropping the toe down, kicking the heel up towards the ceiling. So control as you lift. Control as you lower down. Nice and smooth through the movement. Keep that going. You've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one. Hold this one up the top here. Up, pulses. Up and down. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And have a rest there. Lovely. Let's bend the knees. Last time through. Let's lift the heels up off the ground. Just use the hand to pull hip over the other. Squeeze the heels in. Let's open, close through our clamshells. Pushing the heels in together. Feel the side of the hip burning and getting a bit challenging towards our last set. Lovely. Keep that going. We've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, Last one. One. Dropping down. Lengthen that top leg out. Pull the toes to the head. Drop the toes down to the ground. Heel towards the ceiling. And again, last time through. We've got our abductions. Lift and lower. Really feel the burn through the side of the hip here. And ensure you've got that controlled movement. 3 seconds as you go up. 3 seconds as you go down. Lovely. 5 more. 4, 3, 2 more. Last one. Hold this next one up the top, up and hold. Let's work those pulses. Keep that going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a breathe there. Lovely. Just roll onto your back. We'll go into our figure 4 glute stretch. The right heel comes over the top of the left with that knee flared out. Use the hands to catch in between the legs and behind that left leg. You can rest the head down towards the ground there. Just use the hands to pull the foot in towards the chest. We're stretching out those muscles like we were just working through the side of the hip. We've done a fair amount of glute exercises today, so really good to stretch this one out. Just do a gentle left, right, rock, loosening up through the side of the hips. Lovely. And let's switch over to the other side. So left heel over the top, flare that left knee out. Catch in between the gap behind the back of the right leg, resting the head down towards the ground. Use the hands to pull that leg in towards the chest and just feel the stretch through the side of the hip. And just do a gentle left, right, rock, stretching out through the side of the hip. Lovely, and relax up off there. We're going to lengthen both legs out. Just bring the right leg up straight. Use the hands to catch just behind the leg. Pull the toe down in towards the head. By doing that, you'll feel the stretch through the calf, the hamstring. And you just do a gentle left, right, rock. Stretching out through the inside of the thigh. Stretching through the outside of the thigh. Lovely. Back into the middle, holding that one stable. Now that you're a bit looser through the hamstring, see if we can use the hands to pull the leg that little bit further. We're getting a bit of an extra stretch through the hamstring. Lovely. And again, just do that gentle left, right rock and seeing if you can pull that leg a little bit closer to the chest. Great work. And switching over to the other side. So left leg comes up. Just straighten that leg out. Pull the toe down towards the head and feel a stretch that runs all the way down the calf, the hamstrings, the whole back of the leg there. So just do that gentle left, right, rock. We're stretching out through the outside of the thigh and the inside of the thigh here. And let's pull the leg in that little bit closer. See if you can get a bit more range now. A bit more of a stretch through the back of the legs. And side to side. Last one of these. Stretching out through the side of the hip and the inside of the thigh. 2 more. Last one. Great, just roll up into seated position. We'll finish with our seated stretches. So lengthen the legs out towards the side. We're going to go both hands reaching down towards the ankle, just stretching out to where you can. You'll feel it through the back of the legs and a little bit through the inside of the thigh. Lovely. Sliding up off there, switching over to the opposite side. So reaching down, trying to get both hands down towards that ankle, stretching out through the back of the legs as well as the inside of the thigh. Lovely. Coming up off there, just pull the heels in together. Use the elbows to push the knees out. Drop the chest down towards the feet, stretching out through the groin. And release up off there. You can cross those legs over. Just grab the top of the head. Gently pull ear towards shoulder. Opposite arm comes back behind. Feel the stretch through the side of the neck. And from here, we'll drop the nose down towards the ground. Feel the stretch shift to the back of the neck. Lovely. Let's switch over to the other side. So grab the top of the head and gently pull ear towards the shoulder. Feel the stretch through the side of the neck. And we'll drop the nose down towards the ground. Feel the stretch shift to the back of the neck. And release off there. We're going to tuck and drop the chin, rolling down and up to one side. Once you get to one side, drop and reverse in the opposite direction, loosening through the sides and the backs of the neck. 2 more. And last one. Lovely, and you can release off there. Thanks so much for joining. So nice to have you guys tune in for Pilates each week. Just music. Cool. Thanks, Ron, and thanks, Anna, Valentine, you two for coming and joining the session today.
Thanks, Jess, and yeah, we'll see you at 10:30 your time.
Yeah. Yeah, no worries. And will the changes be reflected on the email that comes out next week?